I'm just getting over a cold, so excuse my annoying voice, but my name is Rachel. I'm 26 years old, and here are some healthy habits that have changed my life for the better. So I broke this up into morning habits, anytime habits, and nighttime habits, but I'm gonna start with something that I think is one of the most important things that we can do for our health. This first habit needs to start as soon as we wake up in the morning, and it needs to carry us through the entire day. And that is to not verbalize negative thoughts, aka positive self-talk only. Science tells us that humans are hardwired for negativity. I am personally a very negative person, and I have negative thoughts almost all throughout the day. But even worse is when we verbalize those negative thoughts. For example, you wake up in the morning and you say, I'm gonna have a terrible day because I'm gonna be late to work, I forgot to bring my lunch, whatever, XYZ. You may think that in your brain, but stopping ourselves from saying those things out loud to our partner, to our friends, goes such a long way. When you verbalize those negative thoughts, they linger longer and they have a more profound impact on your psyche. I really like this quote from Lao Tzu. He says, "Watch your thoughts, they become words. Watch your words, they become actions. Watch your actions, they become habits. Watch your habits, they become character. Watch your character, it becomes your destiny." I've found that this greatly impacts my relationship with others, especially my spouse as well. For example, if my spouse is lacking on doing the dishes or whatever the case may be, instead of saying in a negative way, "Why didn't you do the dishes? It sucks that you didn't do them. I'm really upset at you, blah, blah, blah," I would say, I really love it when you do the dishes, and I'm so grateful on the nights that you take over. So basically framing things in a positive way and only speaking positive things whenever possible towards yourself and towards others has really made a difference in my life. I am so sick. So let's jump into the other morning habits. The first one is to drink a small cup of water before I drink my coffee. So sometimes I'll even drink just like a small tiny cup of water like this because I wake up feeling extremely thirsty and parched, which is probably not a good sign, but I've always struggled to drink a lot of water. So by getting a little extra cup in the morning, I know that I'm starting on the right foot. And I've tried drinking larger glasses before my coffee, and honestly, it's not realistic for me. And sometimes I'll even do my greens. So I love the bloom greens right now. And whenever I do that, I really feel good and I feel like I'm starting my day off right. I'm not one to make my bed in the morning. I know some people do that. For me, if I drink my cup of water, I feel like I accomplished something that really makes a difference for my health. My next morning habit, and probably the most important habit for me, is 30 minutes of quiet time in the mornings, at least every other day. This is when I spend my time with God. I am a Christian and I value my time with the Lord so much. So I read my Bible, I pray, I meditate, and I just kind of sit there and relax for about 30 minutes. Just last week, I had a mental breakdown, and I realized that a big part of why I was so overwhelmed was because I skipped my morning devotion for like 5 days in a row. And if that doesn't prove how important it really is in my life, then I don't know what does, because it's a time where I can strengthen my relationship with God, remember what's important in my life, be grateful for what I have, but also organize my thoughts for the day and set an intention for the day instead of just waking up, getting ready, running out of the house, and feeling overwhelmed. I prefer to do this in the morning, but I know a lot of people have their quiet time at night, and that is also extremely helpful. Okay, next up we have sunscreen every single morning on your face, neck, chest, and hands. I know this can seem like a lot, especially if you're not already using sunscreen every day, but it is so important for preventing skin cancer. I work for my mom's dermatology office, so I see skin cancer in patients of all ages, 20 years old to 95 years old. Anybody can get skin cancer for numerous reasons, but the biggest thing you can do to prevent not only skin cancer, but also skin aging, wrinkles, sunspots, brown spots, is wear sunscreen. I will link my favorite sunscreen down below. It's by Elastin. It's tinted, and what's important is that it blocks UVA, UVB, and blue light from overhead lights like this. Because yes, even these lights can affect your skin negatively. The important thing is that you get a sunscreen that you love so that you will wear it every single day. If you get this milky, big, cakey sunscreen, you're gonna hate it and you're not gonna wear it, and that's understandable. But for me, putting on sunscreen is the biggest form of self-care that I can do, cosmetically. Okay, let's jump into our anytime habits. Number one is eating protein and fats with every meal, as much as possible, and of course veggies. But I've noticed noticed the biggest difference incorporating more protein and more fats into my diet. If you watch my other videos, I'm on a fertility journey right now. I've been trying to get pregnant for a year, and I've seen my fertility doctor. He's very well known, he's very smart, and he asked me, Rachel, are you eating a lot of carbs? Because he saw all my blood work and cholesterol. And I was like, yeah, for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Like, that's what I live off of, is pasta, rice, pizza, bread, sandwiches. And he was like, I want you to try limiting those refined carbs, because it will, number one, lower your cholesterol probably, and number two, it's very inflammatory for my body. We do not want inflammation if we're trying to get pregnant. And you may say, well, I'm not trying to get pregnant, so I don't care. Well, inflammation is not good for anyone, and if you are feeling sluggish after lunch or you're not feeling your best, I would highly recommend limiting refined carbs and incorporating more proteins and more fats at every meal as much as you can. I won't talk too much about this. I will link this video down below where I talk so much more about my low carb journey, but it truly, I feel like 50% better. My energy has just like skyrocketed, and I cannot recommend it enough. But let's move on, because I can talk about that all day. The next one also has to do with mealtime, and this is to walk for at least 10 minutes after large meals whenever possible. Research has linked short bouts of walking with benefits like lower blood pressure and a reduced risk for depression. So this works by improving the digestion of the food that you just ate. And nowadays, everybody's talking about digestion and gut health and how important it is for our overall well-being. So anything we can do to improve digestion is great. It also helps to avoid feeling sluggish if you are eating, let's say, a rice heavy meal or a pasta heavy meal. But what you can do to make that impact less harmful on your body is to just go for a walk after dinner. Or sometimes at work, if I'm having a large lunch, I'll take the trash out, because our trash bin, like the big dumpster, is like, I don't know, 50 yards, 25 yards away. So I'll just like take that out and do a lap around the building, and that is enough. You don't have to go for 30 minutes, because the research says 10 minutes is enough to make this a positive improvement. I'm not a doctor, but just trust me. The next healthy habit for me is finding a hair care routine that I actually enjoy. Hair is one of the biggest things that influence what we think about ourselves when we look in the mirror. At least that's how it is for me, and I've never really found products that I enjoy until I started using whey products. And I am working with them in today's video because they truly are my absolute favorite hair care brand, and all of their products smell amazing. Healthy hair starts at the scalp, and with whey products, they target the root cause of what's causing your hair to not feel full, thick, and strong. I love their shampoo, specifically their detox shampoo. This stuff is so powerful. I'll do like a little squirt on my hand and it will take me through my entire scalp, but with other brands, I have to squirt and squirt and squirt, and I feel like I'm wasting products. But this really cleans your hair so well, but it doesn't strip you and it doesn't leave you feeling dry, which is so hard to find nowadays. I also love their scalp serum. If you watch my vlogs, you know I love that slicked back look on day 3 and day 4 of my greasy hair, and I love this because it helps to slick my hair back, but at the same time I'm doing a treatment on my hair. It can be used day or night with wet or dry hair. It soothes irritation and keeps your hair stronger and fuller through a healthy, hydrated, and balanced scalp. My biggest thing with whey products is I've noticed less shedding, and my hair has been growing super fast. And I get compliments on the smell of my hair from everybody because all of their products smell drop dead amazing, and they all work so beautifully together that if you use all of their products, you will come out of the shower like smelling like amazing. Like, I can't even talk about how good it is. You just have to try it for yourself. The way to healthy hair this season and beyond starts here. Go to theouai.com and use code RachelVin for 15% off your entire purchase. That's theouai.com, code RachelVin. The next healthy habit is something that I've been talking about since I posted my first ever work video. I call it the one thing. Maybe I'll make merch one day that says one thing, because this is so important to me, and it's to do one meaningful thing every single day after work. This applies more so to our 9-to-5 girlies, or our girlies who are working full-time and struggle with feeling like our life has purpose and meaning besides waking up, going to work, coming home, vegging out on the couch, and then doing it all over again. That's something that I struggled with ever since I graduated college and went into the workforce. It is the biggest life adjustment to go from college life to working 40 plus hours a week. I'll give you the example of my life. So I would go to work, I was working 8 to 5, and I would come home at 5:36. I would immediately shower and get on the couch, scroll through Instagram for about an hour, freak out because I didn't have energy to make dinner. We would order pizza and just nothing felt meaningful. I felt like I was always rushing to catch up. I felt like I was unhealthy because I was not exercising. I would only exercise once a week and it was on Saturday, and that I felt like good about that I was maintaining that. But I knew that I wasn't doing my best and I didn't know how to get out of that rut of feeling like crap every single day. So the one thing method says every day I get home from work, I'm gonna do one thing, like read a book, go on a walk, take a bath, pluck my eyebrows, do a load of laundry, call somebody that I love, a friend or a relative. And on my way home from work, or even in the middle of the day, I would already think, what is my meaningful thing gonna be today? And you'll see that once you do at least one thing every single day, you're gonna be so much happier in your life. That's gonna be like, what's that cascade effect? Like an avalanche effect. So you do one thing and then you do another and then you do another. It's like when you start cleaning something and you get into that rhythm, it will completely change your life. So I went from doing like one extra 10-minute walk after work a week to exercising 4 to 6 times a week. Can you guys believe that that is possible? Like, I did not think I was capable. I thought I was lazy, which at times I was, but it is so possible to change your life even when you are working 40 plus hours a week by starting with one thing and letting yourself be okay with the one thing. For example, you can go to the gym and you can do one thing. You can tell yourself, I'm extremely exhausted and I don't want to do anything, but I'm gonna go to the gym after work and I'm gonna walk on the treadmill for 10 minutes. And that is my one thing. And sometimes you'll be done with the treadmill and you're gonna be like, you know what, I'm already here. Let me go do some bicep curls. And before you know it, you're working out for 30 minutes. And you don't have to trick yourself into doing that. We need to be okay with just the one thing and giving ourselves permission to leave after we finish that one thing. And I just cannot recommend this method enough. All right, the next healthy habit is a phrase, and I loved this phrase from the moment I heard it, and it's don't put it down, put it away. I like to keep a very clean, clutter-free home because if I see clutter anywhere, my anxiety just goes through the roof. Yeah, maybe I should seek help and counseling for that, but that's another topic. I don't know where I heard this, but my mom has always told this to me as well. If I'm going from the living room to the bedroom and something from the living room doesn't belong there, every time you go into a different room, take something with you. I've never had stairs growing up, but I know those people who have stairs in their home, you put stuff on the stairs that need to go upstairs. Every time you go up, you take something with you and vice versa. So apply that concept every single time you go into another room, and before you know it, you won't have to spend time putting things away at 10 p.m. at night. You just won't have to do those intense, that scared me. You won't have to do those intense bouts of shuffling things around if you just put it away the first time. The next healthy habit is to implement a prayer schedule. In addition to my morning prayer quiet time, I've made it a goal to pray more throughout the day. And one of the books that changed my prayer life was Praying Like Monks, Living Like Fools, which I'll link down below. It has truly changed the game for me and opened my eyes at the power and the beauty of prayer. So what I've done is every day at 12 p.m., which is basically lunchtime, I set a reminder on my phone and it says pray for others. This is specific to me because in the mornings I tend to pray for myself and like pour my heart out to God with my own needs and my own desires. And I found that I'm not praying for others as much as I know I should be. So by dedicating a certain time of the day to praying for others instead of for myself has been amazing. Even if I'm at work and it's a crazy busy day, I usually have enough time to take a deep breath, sit there for a few minutes and just pray for somebody in my life. Whether that's my mom, my husband, my friends, my coworkers, somebody who I don't even know, but that I see on the street. Especially during a chaotic day, it really brings me back down to earth to remember what's important and what really matters at the end of the day. Back in the day, the disciples and the people would pray 3 times a day, and I think that is so cool, and I would love to get to that point where I'm doing that on a regular basis. The next healthy habit is pretty obvious, and it's to exercise 3 to 5 times a week. I told you guys my one thing story and how it took me a long time to get to that point, but once I was there, I have never felt better. I personally love weightlifting. I don't love cardio. I know it's important for you, but I feel like I'd rather not. I'm just kidding. No, I really love weightlifting, so I do that 3 times a week, and then the other 2 days a week, I'll go on a long walk, or I'll do a cycle on my stationary bike, or I'll do a Pilates workout on the TV. But my main thing is weightlifting, and I just absolutely cannot speak enough good words about it. Some people love CrossFit, some people love Pilates, some people love running. All of these things are good, and finding something that you actually enjoy is such a game changer. All right, let's go into our nighttime habits. This one is a little bit weird. I've gotten so much criticism for this one, but it's mouth taping. So mouth taping is when you take a piece of regular tape or a special tape, but I don't think you need special tape, and you put it over your lips at night to prevent you from mouth breathing. There are so many bad things associated with mouth breathing. You can do your own research, but I noticed that I would wake up in the middle of the night with my mouth open, and I would be like, and I would wake myself up because I'm mouth breathing, and I would wake up like 3 to 4 times a night and have to go pee, because once you're awake, you're like, okay, let me go to the bathroom. Ever since I started mouth taping, I have slept through the night 99% of the time. You guys can criticize me all you want, but the facts are the facts, okay? I've never felt better. I've never been more rested. I don't have to pee 4 times a night. But here's the coolest part. You don't have to tape your mouth for the rest of your life. I mouth taped for maybe a month, and now I don't have to do it, and my mouth stays shut. So it's worth a try, is my point. The next thing is to have a skincare schedule or routine, however you want to call it, that you enjoy. Similar to the hair care routine and the prayer routine, having routines that we enjoy is so important. So I am alternating right now from a tretinoin 0.5 compounded prescription, which is a retinol, which turns over the skin cells and prevents aging. I'm alternating that every other night with my acne medication. So those are my 2 powerhouses at night. Why am I saying night like that? Night. So those are my active ingredients that I'm currently using, and then everything else is very basic. I use Cetaphil face wash, Cetaphil lotion, because if you think about it, the only things that really make a difference are your active ingredients. These simple products work really, really well as long as your active ingredients, which for me are my tretinoin and my acne medication, these are the things actually making a difference in my skin, and everything else is just baseline, moisture, cleanser. That's it, actually. If you have any questions on skincare, you can always message me or message my mom. I'll put her Instagram here. She responds to all of her DMs, and she does see virtual patients if you guys are wanting to ask questions. Maybe you have acne or something that can be treated virtually. She does do telehealth. Our last nighttime routine habits is to get at least 8 hours of sleep. I've always been a great sleeper because I think that I just am a big baby and I can't function unless I get 8 to 9 hours of sleep. So I usually am in bed by 9:30. I'm usually asleep by 10:15, and I wake up at 7. So that is 9 hours of being in bed, but that allows for some time in between. Maybe I do wake up in the middle of the night, maybe it does take me an extra 30 minutes or an hour sometimes to fall asleep. That happens. But by being in bed for 9.5 hours, I know that I'm most likely going to get my 8 hours of sleep. You guys know the benefits of sleep. I'm not going to bore you with that. So anything you can do to increase your quality and quantity of sleep is going to be very beneficial. At one point in college, I was sleeping too much. I was sleeping 10 to 12 hours a day because I was kind of bored and I didn't have like class in the morning or whatever. And I had a headache every single day. So sleeping too much is not good either. But I don't think we're at risk of sleeping too much, especially as adults. Unless you're in college watching this, like, do something. Don't sleep for 10 hours because that's not good for you either. But if you're an adult watching this, you probably have a job and you have responsibilities, so it's usually that we need more sleep. So those are the habits that I've actually implemented that have changed my life, but here are a couple goals that I'm working towards that I haven't quite mastered yet. No phone for 30 minutes before bed. Everybody talks about this and I think they're right. I think it's so good and it's so important, but I have struggled and struggled and struggled to stop watching TikTok, specifically TikTok, because what am I supposed to do? I guess I could read a book. It's just so hard. The second goal is to actually listen to my TikTok time limit. I have a 30-minute time limit on TikTok and I always just remind me later, remind me in 15 minutes. And my last goal is to clean before bed. So one of my pet peeves is when my pillows are like, we'll sit on the couch and the pillows will be squished and the blankets will be everywhere. And then I wake up in the morning and I just don't like looking at that in the morning. But I also don't do a good job at putting stuff away right before bed. So I would love to improve on that. Decluttering the kitchen, like I said, taking things from one room to the other. For some reason, if it's after 7 p.m., I'm like, my shift is over, I've clocked out. I do not have to do anything, which is the wrong mentality. Yes, it's good to rest, but I can also take 5 minutes and like tidy up the house so that I wake up to a clean space. So those are my 3 goals. Comment down below, what are some healthy habits that you are working towards that you think are so important or that have changed your life? Maybe it's something I've already mentioned, or maybe it's something that I haven't even thought of. I would love to read your guys' ideas and talk to you guys through the comments down below. If you're new here, I post all types of work vlogs, lifestyle vlogs, productivity. I'm also posting fertility journey stuff. So if you're interested in any of that, please subscribe and give this video a like if you liked it so I can make more content similar to this. I also have an Instagram. If you want to keep up with me on the daily, you can do that. It's rach.bin over on Insta. That's basically it. So I hope you guys enjoyed and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
No alto da ladeira, aperitivo e piscina.